Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to share with you 10 words and phrases that I've learned since moving to France. Part 2, I made the first video on this subject a couple months back and I'll put the link up above, so definitely go and check that one out. But for today's 10 words, the first word is du coup, and du coup is more or less to say as a result, but it's also a filler word too. So the French use this one a lot. And I learned in school before coming to France, par conséquent, which is a good French word. It's very correct and very formal, literary, so you can definitely use it, which means, as a result. But the French, typically in everyday language, they tend to use du coup very often, so it's a very good phrase. And I didn't learn this one before moving to France. It's good to incorporate it into your French to sound more French. So an example would be, du coup, demain tu viens? And so that would mean, so for tomorrow, are you coming? Or you could say, je n'ai plus d'argent, du coup, je dois rentrer. Meaning, I don't have any more money, so I'm going to have to go home. So that's du coup, par conséquent. The next one is par contre. Very similar to du coup in that it's a good, transition word meaning however. And back in school, I learned cependant. Again, it's a very good French word, very formal, and you'll definitely like to use this one in your written French more. But in spoken French, the French tend to use par contre much more. So an example would be, oui, on va y aller. Par contre, il risque de pleuvoir. Meaning, yes, we're still going to go. However, there's a good chance it's going to rain. Another example would be, tu peux prendre ma voiture. Par contre, il n'y a plus d'essence. Meaning, you can take my car. However, there's no more gas. I don't have any gas left. So that's par contre. Number 3 is a really good one that I really enjoy, and it's a really useful phrase, and that is ça te dit. So, or ça vous dit if you're talking to someone that you vous voit or several people at the same time. And that basically means, does that interest you? But in the sense, like, do you want to do something? So, let's say we're talking about going to the beach. Si on allait à la plage, ça te dit? And that means, how about if we went to the beach? Are you up for it? Ça te dit d'aller à la plage? Another way to say it. Are you up for going to the beach? So that's a really good one, meaning, are you up for something, or would you like to do something? Ça te dit d'aller au cinéma? Would you like to go to the movie theaters, or are you up for it? Another example would be, hey, ça te dit si on allait jouer au ballon? Hey, would you be up for going to play football? So that's a really good phrase, and I use that quite a bit, and it's something that you hear quite a bit when French people are asking one another, are you up for something, or would you like to go do something? Ça te dit d'aller faire du ski cet hiver? Well, are you up to go skiing this winter? So that's ça te dit or ça vous dit. Number 4, which goes hand in hand with responding to the previous question, ça te dit, and that is je suis chaud. Literally means I am hot. But again, remember in French, when you're physically you're hot, we use the verb avoir. So j'ai chaud, meaning I am hot. But in this context, je suis chaud, être, je suis chaud, means like I'm really up for it. I'm down. So if somebody says, ça te dit d'aller au cinéma ce soir, you can respond, je suis chaud. Oui, je suis chaud. Or just simply, je suis chaud means, yeah, I'm really up for it. I'm really interested to do that. And this is more of a informal, so you wouldn't really want to use this in a professional context, but definitely with your friends or family or in any informal situation, it's a perfect word to say, I'm really up for it, je suis chaud, and it can show your enthusiasm and your passion for it. So that is je suis chaud. Or you can also use it in the question, t'es chaud aller au cinéma ce soir? Are you up for going to the cinema this evening? Number 5, another one you can use to confirm your enthusiasm is carrément. And carrément is a word the French use quite a bit. It can be in response to saying, yes, I'm up for something. So, si on allait au cinéma ce soir, you could respond, carrément, meaning like, yeah, definitely. So, what if we went to the movies tonight? Yeah, definitely, carrément. Carrément could also be when you're showing that you agree with what somebody is saying to you. Ah, c'est vraiment dommage qu'on puisse pas faire du ski cet hiver. Ah, carrément. Or you could say, for example, cette musique, elle est trop bien. A person could say carrément, meaning, yeah, definitely. Number 6 is être de retour. De retour, meaning to be back. So you can, of course, say revenir, to come back. So that works well. Je reviens cet après-midi. I'm coming back this afternoon, or I'll be back this afternoon. But if you want to say literally, I'll be back this afternoon, je serai de retour cet après-midi. Or you could say to a colleague who's on vacation and he's back in the office, you could say, ah tiens, je savais pas que tu serais de retour aujourd'hui. Ah, I didn't know that you would be back today. So that's a really good word. Être de retour, to be back. Je suis de retour, I'm back. Or, ah, vous êtes de retour, you're back. Voilà, de retour. Number 7, this is a good word to really, Frenchify your French and sound less Franglish if you're an English speaker, for example. And that is merci de. So this is used mostly when we're giving instructions to somebody. So an example, if we wanted to say to somebody, please make sure to turn off the lights, we could say merci d'éteindre les lumières. So an example would be, let's say you want to say, please close the door. Merci de bien fermer la porte. We use this in emails as well. At the end of an email, if you want to say, please send this attachment signed and initialed. Well, the French wouldn't really say it in that format. They would say, merci de renvoyer cette pièce jointe signée et paraphée. Instead of saying, please, they would say, thank you to do something. And that's a very French formulation. And that's something that really can help Frenchify your French, because a lot of foreigners will want to say please in that sort of context, whereas merci de is the correct format. So merci de me tenir informé. Please keep me informed. Instead of saying please keep me informed, they would say thank you to keep me informed. Obviously, we don't say thank you to do something in English, but that's the literal translation of merci de. Number 8 is se dire. And se dire, in this context I'm going to give you, means to think. And the French will actually use that interchangeably, or sometimes even more than penser, which we know means to think. So in the context of what you were thinking, the French will often use se dire. So an example would be, ah oui, c'est ce que je me disais. Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Or, quand il n'est pas venu, je me suis dit qu'il a dû y avoir un contretemps. So when he didn't come, I thought to myself that something must have come up. So je me suis dit means I thought. Je me suis dit que tu venais pas ce soir. I didn't think you were coming, or I thought you weren't coming tonight. Oui, je suis pas venu puisque j'étais malade, ou parce que j'étais malade. You could say, ah oui, c'est ce que je me disais, meaning like, yeah, that's what I thought. It's just an example. So that's a good one, se dire. Number 9 is a good one that I like to use a lot and that you hear a lot, is avoir hâte. So that's already, avoir hâte is already good by itself. J'ai hâte de faire quelque chose. J'ai hâte d'aller au cinéma ce soir. I'm looking forward to going to the movie theaters tonight. J'ai hâte d'être en vacances. I'm excited to be on vacation. And they will also use this instead of saying like, I'm excited for tomorrow. The French will typically say, j'ai hâte d'être à demain. So literally, I am looking forward to be tomorrow. So j'ai hâte d'être à demain. Or j'ai hâte d'être à ce soir. I'm really looking forward to this evening. J'ai hâte d'être à ce weekend. I'm really looking forward to the weekend. If we're talking about the summer, j'ai hâte d'être à cet été. So that's a really good phrase. J'ai hâte d'être à. And also, some of the French will not use the à, but correct French would be with the à. So j'ai hâte d'être à vendredi. But sometimes you'll hear j'ai hâte d'être vendredi. So both in spoken French can be used, but it's better to use it with the à. J'ai hâte d'être à vendredi, for example. So j'ai hâte is a really good word to show that you're excited to do something, or we learn j'attends avec impatience, which is good. But for me anyways, my experience is that j'ai hâte is more often used than j'attends avec impatience. And j'attends avec impatience is a bit It's really heavy and can emphasize more like you're really, really excited, or it can be a bit more literary perhaps, but j'ai hâte is just much, is used quite frequently in spoken French. So j'ai hâte d'être là ce weekend. And number 10, going along well with avoir hâte, which also shows excitement and is much easier because it's just one word, that is vivement. So you can say vivement ce soir, meaning basically conveys I'm looking forward to tonight, or vivement cet été, cannot wait for this summer. Vivement Noël, looking forward to Christmas. Vivement ce weekend, I'm looking forward to the weekend. So vivement is a cool word because it's really short and it's really powerful to convey that you're really looking forward to an event or a time period or whatever. Vivement, and then whatever you're looking forward to. Vivement vendredi prochain. I'm looking forward to next Friday. There you go, guys. That's 10 words that I've learned since moving to France, part 2. If you enjoyed this video, definitely please be sure to smash the like button, and also go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, because I'll be uploading more videos to come. I look forward to reading your comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.